Hi, everyone. Welcome to our informational session on the Youth Initiative. We're so happy to have all of you all here. We will begin shortly. I think we're waiting on a couple more people to join in, but we will start soon. Michael, you found us 7:03 or 7:05? Not 7, 8:05 or 8:03?
Yeah, 8:03 sounds good.
Okay, cool. Hello, once again. We will now begin the informational webinar. So welcome to the 2021-2022 Youth Initiative Informational. Next slide, please. Okay, so today's agenda, we'll start off with our welcome, of course, the mission statement of MMAC, program sponsors and partners, Youth Initiative key staff, Youth Initiative peer educators roles, and program goals and Youth Initiative Scholar Program and project overview, applications and deadlines. I would also like to say, if you have any questions while we are in the middle of this, feel free to add them into the chat box and we'll address them at the end. As soon as you get a question, just put it in the chat box. We don't want you to forget. Anything is important. So we'll start off with MMAC's mission. MMAC leads with race to urgently fight for health equity and racial justice to end the HIV epidemic in America. And if you'd like to explore more about what MMAC does and our mission, feel free to go to our website, mmac.org. Next slide. Okay, of course, we'd love to say thank you to our sponsor, Vive Healthcare. Without them, this wonderful program would never come to be, so thank you to Vive. Next slide. All right, so MMAC key staff. I am Gabriella Spencer. I'm the Youth Health Senior Coordinator here at MMAC. I work in the center, which is a department at MMAC, and I will be your go-to person for logistics, travel, and all things fun. I bring the intentional support to ensure the program's needs are met, and the goals for the scholars are also met too. And my contact information is right there. My email is gspencer@mmac.org. I will now allow Michael Smith Jr. to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. I am Michael Smith Jr., commonly referred to as MSJ. Feel free to call me MSJ. I'm a public health practitioner who will be providing consulting services for the Youth Initiative. I'll be working with some of your peer educators who are going to be teaching you some of this material, looking at different teaching methods, pedagogical methods, looking into the program planning, logistics, working alongside with Gabrielle and all of you to make this a rewarding experience, not only for you, but for us as well. And so I look forward to meeting each of you in person at USCHA. I might be speaking too soon, just giving out all the gimmies already. But I look forward to meeting you, and my contact information below, email msmith@nmac.org. Feel free to follow me on IG or Twitter. to stay connected with any other health related tips and things that I try to post as well, but also just a way to be as a resource as well. Our next slide talks about the Youth Initiative's peer educator role. So as you may have heard me allude to just a second ago, is I'll be working closely with the peer educators and figuring out ways in which we can deliver this information to you in the best way. And so you may be asking, well, who are these peer educators and why do we need them? So customarily in a youth initiative program, you have people who are going to be teaching the material, walking alongside with you. And so they're responsible for introducing the material, the curriculum that we have set forth. They're also going to be working alongside with you to help assist you in your different projects that you're going to be working on throughout the youth initiative. And so they're going to be a great asset to all of us because they have all been through the program once before, and most of them, if not all of them, will have a lot of experience working with HIV and working in the workforce in the community. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Michael. So I will discuss the objectives of the youth initiative. So everyone, if selected, will receive a full scholarship to UCHA. So that means we cover your travel, room, and we also give you a stipend to help out with any of those meals that we may not be able to cover during the conference. So you don't want to miss that. That's an awesome opportunity to network, meet people, be in those spaces where people aren't usually in. We also do provide training to help you produce a World AIDS and HIV Day and Awareness Day projects, in person and webinars. So these are the two main projects that the youth scholars will produce during their tenure at the Youth Initiative. So from day one, we'll start talking about the World HIV and AIDS Day projects because you'll need to start thinking about who you want to partner with, what organizations you want to work with, what do you want to actually do to help reduce HIV stigma or HIV accusation overall, or bring just knowledge and awareness to those days. Also, the scholars will be introduced to HIV workforce professionals, such as last year we had Harold Phillips, Tonya Petit, Dr. Jarrett Sell. These are wonderful health HIV workforce leaders, and they were able to speak to them, network, and be in the same place as them, and also have their contact information for any later inquiries that they may have, which is an awesome opportunity to network. Networking is what you need nowadays. That's how people get to where they want to be. You got to network. So we're allowing all the scholars to be in the rooms with these professionals so they can put their foot through the door. We can't offer you a job at the end, but we can give you the skills to get a job. So we provide job readiness skills and resources to scholars, such as the networking, and we'll have resume building workshops. And we also hope to have headshots because everyone needs a professional headshot. LinkedIn is where many people get their jobs nowadays. So you'll need a professional headshot for that. We offer a tons of resources to help the scholars get to where they need to, because we've listened to the scholars and they wanted more and we were able to produce. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure you apply. I will go to the next slide so Michael can go further into the curriculum so you can learn what you're actually learning about in the youth initiative.
So as you may have heard, this is a 10-month commitment. This is not something where we're just going to attend USCHA and then we're going to go on by our business. No, we're going to be in this for the long haul. We're going to be together, making things happen for our communities, making things happen for those people we desperately love and those people who desperately desire these different resources. So yes, it is a 10-month commitment. We will have at least, at max, not at least, at max, 2 meetings per month. And those meetings per month actually kind of fluctuate because when you think about the meetings, some of them will be recorded and you'll have your own schedule to really look at them before our next meeting. So sometimes there's maybe only 1 meeting per month. When you think about, December and November, we know that's the holiday. We're only meeting 1 time a month. So there's a lot of flexibility, and we definitely want to work around your schedules and make sure this program fits within your schedule. So we're looking at max 2 meetings per month. One of them may be pre-recorded, the other one may be a live session. And so some of the things you're going to be learning throughout these different sessions is things like cultural responsive care, looking at how our communities affected by stigma and affected by internal stigma and the social built environments that we have in place that may be a negative and have a negative impact on our HIV prevention services or HIV acquisition. And so we also want to talk about public health program planning. Of course, you're getting ready to take a task on by planning your own World AIDS Day project and also planning Awareness Day events. And so we want to make sure you have the skills necessary to implement your own projects. So that's going to be part of the curriculum. We also have HIV epidemiology. We're going to talk about stigma in HIV. We're going to be talking about structural violence. We're going to be talking about a host of different things, federal programs, and this is just a list. So this is just a sample of some of the things we're going to be talking about. But of course, once you're accepted, you will get a more detailed email and forms detailing everything you're going to be learning. And of course, if you never ever need a one-on-one session to dive deeper into what you're going to be learning, we're always will be a resource. Next slide.
All right, let's do a deeper dive into the projects. As I mentioned before, there's two major projects that you'll have during your tenure with the Youth Initiative. So the first project is the World AIDS and HIV Day project. This project is where you will work independently in collaboration with another organization, that preferably HIV nonprofit organization or a school, 501c3 organization, of course, and you'll produce a project that brings awareness to HIV. So if you want to tackle HIV stigma, HIV accusation, or just HIV knowledge in general, that project is where you'll do that. In the past, people have done kissing booths where they came and people were able to get tested. Last year, we had someone do virtual speed dating. That was very interesting, where they gave knowledge about HIV throughout the speed dating process. What else did we have? Last year, we also had a virtual art exhibit. Someone did a documentary. There was a lot. It's where you get to use your creative juices to do whatever you want to do that brings awareness to HIV. And this will be done during the month of December. HIV, World AIDS and HIV Day is December 1st. But we give you a little leeway, so you can do it throughout the whole month of December, because we don't want to keep you tethered to the one day, because we know stuff may arise. You may have difficulty finding an organization to partner with. Michael Smith Jr. and myself are very understanding. The next project is in the latter half of the Youth Initiative. It's an Awareness Day project where you'll pick one of the 15 awareness days, HIV awareness days, and it will be facilitated through April through June. So you'll pick one of the days and then you'll bring awareness to that day. So of course you want to tell people what the day is about, bring why the day was founded, the importance of the day, and you'll also be partnered with another Youth Initiative member, because last year we realized that collaboration within the Youth Initiative was something we were lacking. So we wanted to continue with this, and this was a great suggestion by one of the scholars last year. So I just want you all to know that if you suggest things for us to improve, we will implement it. We're listening and we're hearing all the suggestions. Yeah, so that are the two main projects that you'll be working on, alongside with the weekly or the bi-weekly webinars and the in-person training. Next slide.
So I know after hearing all this information, after hearing about the things you're going to do, you're going to get a stipend to go to USCHA. You're about to get a room for free, ticket, airline ticket, or transportation to get to DC for the conference. You're about to receive money to put on your own World AIDS Day project, your own Awareness Day project. Listen, I think the deal is sealed. Pull out your phone, go ahead and pull out that camera, scan that QR code. That's going to take you directly to the application. And when you get to the application, you want to make sure you choose the VIVE Youth Initiative. And if you have any questions throughout, the application isn't long. It doesn't take too much, but if you have any questions, of course, you have our information. You have our contact information. Reach out to us. We want to be of assistance to you because that's what we want to do. So pull out that phone, scan that QR code or take a picture of it for later. Or matter of fact, you know what? Don't take a picture of it for later. Go ahead and scan it. And I want you to go to if you have an iPhone, I don't know much about Android, no shade, but if you have an iPhone, I want you to copy that address and save it in your notes and write in big letters Youth Initiative application, and then write right underneath there the deadline is August the 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, the deadline is the deadline. We will not extend the deadline. You have to apply before 5 p.m. on August the 6th. And so, of course, I'm pretty sure people have questions. This was very quick. The program is pretty simple, but very much so meaningful. And so, any questions, we're welcome to them at this time. And I think, Gabriella, we have Jazz with us as well, who's going to be helping us with these questions.
Yes, of course. I'll pass it over to Josh. Just one last thing. If you are not 18 to 25, I suggest that you apply to a different scholarship. We do have other scholarships that have the same deadline as August 6th. That's the 50 plus and option B or option A if you want to go to USCHA, because the youth initiative is strictly for people who are 18 to 25. And you must be 25 by the time of application. So August 6th, if you're 25 and you turn 26 August 7th, we can still accept you.
You know, Gabriella, I'm glad you mentioned that because that slipped my mind. Because, you know, when I look at the different scholarships with, USCHA, everyone else has a lot of different restrictions, but I think the Youth Initiative is one of the um, only programs where there's only one restriction, and that's be 18 to 25. You can be black, blue, Jew, Hebrew, whatever you want to be, Muslim, purple, white. You can be whatever, gay, bi, straight, transgender, whatever, queer. You can be whatever you want, and you are welcome in this space to be able to collaborate with us and learn and grow alongside of us. So definitely looking forward to it. Be 18 to 25 at least.
Yes, and once again, it's open to people who are living with HIV and people who are not living with HIV, people on PrEP. As Michael said, it's open to everyone as long as you're 18 to 25. Jazz, I
So
think
we
we're ready
do,
for the questions.
for sure. And once again, guys, you can just put the questions in the chat and we'll read them out. So we do have a question. I was like, how will I know my registrant ID is? I don't know if they need a register ID to apply, um, but I think they're talking about like the application. That might be on another application, but for this one, it's just a general application on through the QR code. And then the
Well,
other question was about,
Jazz, to answer that question, I believe that when you fill out an application through MAC, it does send you a registration ID to access that
gotcha.
application overall. So I would just check your email for that. It might be in your spam. I'm not sure where it comes from or what it's titled, but we can get you more information about that. If you want to leave your email in the chat box, I think that will just go to Jazz, and we'll be able to get you more information on that.
And you also within the slides, we'll send that out as well so you guys can go back through it. The next question was just about the age limit, and you guys just went over that. Let's see. See if there are any more questions. I think that's it thus far. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat, so we'll get that. I'll give you that email, Gabriella, that they just sent in. But that will be it. Any more questions, guys?
I guess we'll wait around until 8:25 just to see if any other questions may arise. Michael Smith Jr., do you want to talk about your favorite part of being with the Youth Initiative? Last year was Michael Smith Jr.'s first year with the Youth Initiative.
I think my favorite part of the Youth Initiative probably was being able to meet different people from different areas. And I'm actually curious, Gabriella, to know who's on the call, like what areas are represented. You know how you be on like on a Zoom and we
Roll
can't
call.
see maybe the roll call. Maybe you don't have a question. Shout out where you from. Let's see who's here. Because it's always so interesting to see the different cultural nuances of people living in New York, from those in Miami, and from those on the West Coast, and all the different things that contribute to making this program what it is, which is one that values cultural humility. And so Shout out where you from. We want to hear, where are you from? Represent, because I'm going to represent that 404 all day. Atlanta, ATL, baby, from the SWAT, Southwest Atlanta. Hey,
Let me see in the chat, guys.
And I'm giving a burnt Fias teas, the 410.
you on the 410,
Yeah.
where you get the best crab legs and seafood.
All
Yeah.
right.
But I'm not from Baltimore. Let's
Okay.
not
Can you
forget.
guys review one more time the age limit for the youth initiative?
18 to 25, 18 to 25. That means you must be 18 on August 6th and you must be 25 on August 6th. If you're 18 on August 7th, we can still accept you. But if you're not, between, yeah, so 18 to 25, yeah.
Okay. And that individual is still having trouble with their ID, but don't worry, I'm going to send it to them and they'll be reaching out to you to get that fixed.
Yes, and we can always put them in touch with Shantae too, because Shantae will do the troubleshooting. Were people shouting out where they were from in the chat? We can't see unless y'all click organizers and panelists too. I don't know how to work GoToWebinar too much. I'm a Zoom girl.
Come on, Zoom girl.
Oh, Jacksonville, Florida, the 904, Fort Worth,
Hey,
Texas. Cool. Got Chattanooga,
come on,
Tennessee. Come on, Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Is that what you said?
yeah,
Yeah,
they in the
Chattanooga,
mountain.
Tennessee.
I have
Yeah,
never
it's
heard
in the
that.
mountains. You never heard of
Oh,
Chattanooga? I'm from that side of town.
oh, you
I'm
said
like kind of like,
Chattanooga.
yeah, Chattanooga.
Okay, you know.
Great. A great all right. And then there's another individual who is 27 years old. So is there any other programs that they could apply for?
Yes, Jazz, do you want to talk a little bit about your program? Because I'm sure they can apply to that.
Yes, so
And I
we
don't
have a social for sure. We have a social media scholarship. And so what that basically is, you get full scholarship to USCHA as well. And basically, you would be taking pictures, taking videos, hashtagging, showing the USCHA, and attending a lot of the events, kind of like press for NMAC. That's also going to be found on that QR code. You just scan it and it brings you to the application. And so that would be for the social media fellowship. And so I hope to see your application for that. So that's all age ranges, 18 and up.
But I will say, if you're 18 to 25, come to the Youth Initiative. They don't give you a stipend in social media.
Yeah, we
No
don't we
stipend
give
there.
you no stipend, but we do have we've have the social media fellows come out, and so you get I think hotel and flights, but please check the application so for all those
That's what,
details as well.
what I heard you say to the Youth Initiative scholars is basically make sure you be where the money reside, basically.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Come on now. Yes,
Well,
so.
either we're excited to see everyone there. So put your applications in. There's a lot of applications on there that can fit in the program. But I will say the Youth Initiative is the only one that really gives hands-on training. So you get a lot out of it, not for just USHCA. You learn how to network, you get skills, career building. You'll learn how to do social media campaigns and networking. That's one thing that I will say that's different than the other programs. But if you were to come to the social media side, if you weren't able to reach that age limit, we can give you some other aspects. Yeah.
Thank you, Jazz. Thank you for at
Or-
least shouting us out.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
appreciate
okay. And let me show the QR. Okay. And I think I answered the one over 25. We have a couple of those. Um,
Oh, and if you're
someone,
over
yes,
25, but you know someone who is under 25, please send us their way too, because you can help us too. Help a friend.
for
If
sure.
someone
And there's
for a friend.
a question in here. If someone said, "What if I finish the application and questionnaire?" No worries. Don't. So I'm wondering. This is the individual that's having trouble with the registration. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach out after this chat just so we can get more of a detailed explanation of what trouble you're having. No worries. I just sent it over to them, so they'll get back to you on that. And oh, QR code again. Give me one second.
I'll
There
also
you
say
go.
tips for a great application is just make sure you fill out the application very thoroughly. And we love to see stories. We like to see it came from the heart. Like show us why you really want to be a part of the youth initiative. Like show your dedication, show your passion for HIV. Michael, any tips from you for
Yeah, I think you hit it. Uh, show us some sincerity. Show us that you really desire to be in a space to grow with us. We're not the people where we think we know it all, or we're coming out. This is a space where we all grow together. Because as you think about it, the HIV world, or just healthcare more broadly, is a space that changes constantly. It's very nuanced. And so it takes all of us to come together to provide cultural responsive care, to provide a response that's going to be meaningful, to provide meaningful engagement for communities. It's our desire that we want people who are applying, who are in the community, right in the heart of these different communities, with the community at heart. So tell us why you really want to do this work. Um, Tell us about yourself. Uh, and even beyond that, I would even suggest, before you even submit, have someone proofread it. The worst thing you could do is submit something really, really good with a whole lot of typos, and we can't understand what you're trying to say, right? And so definitely, have it proofread by someone else. You proofread it first before you send it to someone else. So maybe 3 times proofreading, and making sure that you're able to really articulate what is your desire and why you want to be a part of the youth initiative.
Thank you.
Okay, we're having one more question. It says, so just so I'm understanding, the individuals that are in this chat are going to the NMAC event, or will that be decided after you guys read our information? So I think they're asking, does everyone get on this chat get to go to USCHA
If
automatically?
selected, you'll get to go to UCHA if you're participating and attending all the weekly webinars, because you can't just be selected and attend one meeting and then we never see you again and then all of a sudden you come back for USCHA. Unfortunately, participation is required in the program to go to USCHA. And so yes, if selected, I will say it's very competitive. We have a lot of applications. So as Michael Smith Jr. said, make sure you proofread your application, phone a friend. If you need help, we are here to help you. We can't give you the answers, but we can definitely help you out if you're having any difficulties. But I would definitely suggest writing centers, having someone look it over before submitting it, and you'll still have time to go back in and edit your application now until August 6th.
Great. Any more questions? This is a great time to ask like what you guys look for in applications. If you are asking like what's career skills and like building outside of like the curriculum, any questions like that? We'll give it a couple of minutes.
I'll also say there's fun things about the youth initiative too. Last year we had bonding days. That was super fun. We played this game where we used, I think it was Poll Everywhere, and people inputted their favorite songs, and we were guessing whose song it was. And so just little get to know you ways in this virtual environment, because last year, unfortunately, UCHI was online, so they didn't get to meet up in person. So we just had to make do with what we had. So we did bonding days and people received gift cards. There was also trivia questions where people won prizes. And we hope to have all of that this year too. So there's many ways for you to bond and still get that close-knit environment in a virtual environment, because I will even say last year was probably the closest youth initiative cohort that I've seen since I've been here, and I've been here for 3 years. Any other questions?
Nope, that's all the questions that came in. So I think we are good to go, guys. Thanks for coming to this quick little informational as well. Their information is in, I'll go back to the last slides just so you guys can see it before we clock out. All right, so this is MSJ's. His email address is right here. I'll give you guys a second to screenshot that.
Yeah, I'll type mine in the chat box too. But yes, feel free to email us, email both of us, email one, CC the other, email one, Do whatever works for you. We are here to help you. I will say email is the best form of communication for me. Calls sometimes get lost. At least I can always go back to an email. And thank you all for joining tonight's informational. I hope to see a lot of the same names, even though I can't see the attendee names, but I hope to see some of y'all applications in. And if you're over
Great, thanks,
25,
guys.
show it to somebody else, please.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye.